So it's officially been 1 year since I purchased the Nintendo Switch OLED, and in that time I haven't really talked about it that much. But I think that's a good thing because 1 year is a really good time frame to judge how good a product really is. So what do I think of the Switch OLED after 1 year of ownership? Well, let's find out. So initially when this was announced, I did a video saying I wasn't going to buy it, and then 2 weeks later, I bought one.
Well, you're a liar too.
The plan was to play it for a couple of weeks, then flip it on Facebook Marketplace since the holidays were right around the corner. But something happened in those 2 weeks leading up to the holidays. This thing started to grow on me. As I've gotten older, I've really embraced handheld gaming. I find it harder and harder to sit down in front of a dedicated TV and play a game on a console, especially for shorter sessions.
I'm losing my patience.
I find it so much easier just to grab my Switch and wake it from sleep mode and start playing right where I left off the day before. And if I was already using my V2 Switch 90% of the time in handheld mode, why not do it on the Switch OLED and take advantage of this beautiful 7-inch OLED display? Now, besides the larger screen, the Switch OLED also has a vastly improved kickstand, an additional 32 gigabytes of internal storage, bringing the total to 64 gigabytes, as well as slightly better audio from the down-firing speakers, although that's debatable. It's also noticeably heavier than the V2 Switch, and it just feels more premium. This is definitely the version we should have gotten on day one. But one of the things that really sold me on the Switch OLED was going back and playing games that I played on my V2 Switch and just being blown away at how much better they looked on this larger 7-inch OLED screen. Some of the games I would highly recommend playing on the Switch OLED include Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening Remake, Astral Chain, and Horizon Chase Turbo, which I had a blast going back to and 100%ing. And I don't think my footage truly captures how amazing these games look in person, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. So I know what you're saying to yourself, Pat, why not just get a Steam Deck? Well, I'm not really a PC guy. I mean, this is really all I need. Plus, the Steam Deck is tough to get right now, it costs more, and it has half the battery life. And I'm sure the Steam Deck can play games in vertical mode, but can it look this cool doing it? But it's not all puppy dogs and rainbows. This thing is far from perfect, and there are some things that Nintendo could have improved on. So, not sure what Nintendo was thinking when they decided to recess the power and volume buttons even more than the previous model. The same goes for the cartridge slot, so make sure you have at least one fingernail reserved for just opening that. And something I hope Nintendo changes on their next iteration of the Switch is the lack of grip. It's like holding a giant cell phone. Thankfully, there's plenty of companies like Skull & Co making fantastic grips, like this Neo grip that looks great, as well as offering access to the kickstand. It's also got interchangeable grips for different size hands, and it's even dockable, even though they claim it isn't. And another miss is Nintendo making this ever so slightly bigger than the previous model, so none of your old grips will work. I mean, come on Nintendo, you mean to tell me you couldn't have shaved off a couple millimeters? But despite these minor gripes, it's still a noticeable improvement over the previous model. So as you can probably tell, I am really enjoying the Switch OLED.
You love me! You really love me!
And I have zero regrets other than the price. I don't think this thing should have been a penny over 300. When it was released, it should have been a 300. They should have dropped the V2 Switch to 249 and the Switch Lite at either 200 or 175, especially with the Steam Deck that was coming out not too long after. I think 300 is the sweet spot for this thing, which kind of brings up my next point about price. Right now, you can actually get a Switch OLED on the secondhand market, whether it's Mercari or Facebook, and these things are going in the mid 200s. I actually bought one for 160 bucks, complete in box. It just had a small blemish on the screen.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I was shocked. That's over 200 bucks off of retail, and I had no problem flipping it. They're going way lower than even like V2 switches. I mean, why would you buy a V2 when you could get one of these for cheaper? I don't really get it. Even if you're never going to play it in handheld mode, but maybe once or twice, you're still getting a better product. You know, it's just got a much more premium feel. It's heavier. I just think if you're in the market for one of these, this is the one to get, especially right now when they're just being discounted highly on the secondhand market. So there you go, guys, 1 year with the Switch OLED. I would highly recommend that if you can find one for under 300 in the mid 250s, anywhere around there or below, definitely pick one up. You will not be disappointed. And let me know if you already have one or if you plan on buying one, just what you think of it. Is it worth the upgrade? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps out. All right, guys, I will see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching.